Good afternoon, everyone. I am Alfreda Robinson, the President and the Chief Executive Officer of the National Bar Association. The NBA has existed continuously for 95 years. It was organized in 1925. It is the oldest and largest association of predominantly, but not exclusively, African-American lawyers, judges, law professors, law deans, law students, and other legal professionals. We began this series during the COVID epidemic because we wanted to make sure we could continue to engage with each other and also to engage with the public and share knowledge about not only COVID, but in general about where we stood. We have another exceptional panel today, and this panel concerns COVID-19 and business insurance. But before we begin with that, let me start here. The National Bar Association has spoken truth to power, all power, worse power than we could ever see right today, for over 95 years. And we do so again today and will continue to do in the days to come. This is a terrible time in America. It's a sad time in America. All of us have seen the killing and 9-minute torture of George Floyd, who begged for his life politely by using the term sir, and where there were onlookers, and where there were 3 other officers watching a 4th police officer in Minneapolis keep his knee on his neck, the neck of George Floyd, an African-American male. This is a terrible time in America. And then to compound this sad set of affairs, we have a prosecutor's office that has not arrested and charged these officers who killed George Floyd. There is already clear evidence of probable cause on the tape. Justice will be served by the jury. The jury will decide whether or not these officers are culpable. But the NBA demands the arrest and then charging of these 4 officers in Minneapolis today, not another day, not tomorrow, not Monday, today. And we stand ready to back up our demand by any means necessary, of course, lawful means, because we are lawyers. We saw last month the shooting of, found out about the shooting of an EMT worker in her own apartment, and we are looking for the same kind of justice for Ms. Taylor. And then we saw a video that came out about the shooting of a Black male jogger in the middle of the day on Sunday. And those officers, not officers, one former officer, and then 2 other vigilantes hunt him down and killed him. Again, we will stand to say again, as we did at that time, we demand an investigation of this and all the others. We have another demand. We have another request that the President of the United States make no further incendiary comments about protests in Minneapolis. It's not helpful. Just give us 1 day of being president. Now, we will turn to the COVID pandemic. The COVID pandemic has made all of us suffer. It's impacted every American across the board. We have now over 102,000 Americans who have died in 3 months. We have over 1.4 Americans who have fallen ill. We have an unprecedented number of unemployed. I'm sure the president has much to do rather than tweeting repeatedly those things that don't relate to COVID-19. Yes, the NBA is speaking truth to power right now. We started this series, as I say, to inform our public, to inform our members, to engage with you on the issues related to COVID and the president's incompetence in dealing with the pandemic. So we've stepped in, and we have another terrific panel. And I'll say one other thing before I turn it over to the moderator. We ask you to join the National Bar Association at www.nba.org. Now with that, I turn it over to the chair of our Small and Solo Firms Division, Mawad Porter, and he is a partner in, the managing partner in a firm that he will identify, and he can give any other identification of his practice, and then he will introduce the other speakers and he will moderate. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, President Robinson, for your leadership and for taking a vocal stance in this tragic time that we are going through right now. I'm kind of pivoting a little bit because obviously this means a lot to me, as it means a lot to many others throughout the country. That what we're seeing is not just a violation of civil rights, but we're seeing a violation of human rights. It seems like it's open season to kill Black people, and we have to stand together and fight it. And the National Bar Association is an organization that has the power, the intellect, the resources, to speak truth to power and to make sure that those who are committing these type of terrorism, brutal killings are held accountable. And President Robinson and I have talked about some things that we could do together as Black lawyers to address these issues every time they come up. And I'm sure President Robinson will go into that at some other time. But it's time for us to stand together, to come together, and any time that these type of lynchings occur, we need to be on the front lines and giving it right back to them legally, because together we could do it. And I think it's important for the world to know that if you kill our people, we're going to come get you legally, and we could do it together. So that will be for another time, and that time is soon to come. But with that said, I want to talk a little bit about business interruption coverage. I have with me on my panel Amanda Stewart, who is my director of operations. I have Camille Miller, who is a lawyer in my firm, and I also have Alfonso McClendon, who is my director of business development. I'm Marwan Porter. I'm one of the managing partners of the Cochran Law Firm, and I'm excited to talk to you about this project that we're engaging on, and that could be extremely helpful to a lot of people throughout the country. And, you know, one of my mottos is doing well while doing good. You know, there's a lot out there where you can make a lot of money and help a lot of people at the same time, you know, which is why I have embarked upon the mass tort genre of the law practice. There are many products out there and many items that kill people, and big pharma and a lot of big organizations are making money hand over fist and really don't care. You know, I think the most recent one was the Johnson & Johnson baby powder, and hopefully we could have another presentation on that, which I have been attempting to educate members of the bar and others probably for a couple years now, that this is going to be a way where we could all get together, help a lot of people, and make some money, because, you know, that baby powder, you know, is the product that a lot of you, and I know myself, you know, and my mom and dad and grandma and grandfather have used for a long time, and it causes cancer. And just recently, they have taken that product off the market totally. So there's some opportunities there, and that product affects us, affects our people. And those cases are in our communities. And if you run into one of those cases, please reach out to me and I can help you with it. I can work with you on it or guide you through. But with that said, we're gonna talk about another project that's going on right now, where you have the ability to help small businesses in your community who have had to shut down and who have lost a lot of revenue as a result of the coronavirus. There are some opportunities for all of us here. There's some opportunities to help people and some opportunities for us to make some money, you know, while we at it. So I'm going to discuss that a little bit with my team. Next slide, Amanda. So again, today's topic is business interruption coverage. You can go to the next slide. And what that is, you know, there are many insurance policies out there that has provisions for business interruption. And so if you know that any type of business who has been affected by COVID, who has had to shut down or have had lost a lot of revenue, there's something that you can do to help them. And you ask yourself, you know, do you know anyone who has suffered, or any companies who have suffered from this COVID crisis? And of course you do. And we have the ability to help small businesses who have suffered losses and who have, you know, potentially closed their doors forever. So there are, in these policies, there are clauses, and the clauses specifically pertain to business interruption. And I'll go into that a little bit more. And what some of the things you want to look at when you're analyzing these businesses and taking their cases: how big are the businesses? Have they closed forever, or are they closed temporarily? What are their losses? And, you know, would this be a case you would want to take if they don't have any coverage at all? The property insurance policies typically fall in two types: specified peril and all risk. The all risk coverage typically are the most popular type of insurance coverages because they cover everything. If you have that, you know, you're starting off on a good foot. So what do you want to do? What you want to do is you want to obtain a copy of the full policy. The policy includes declaration pages, all forms, and exclusions. When you go through these policies, you got to look at them, you know, closely, and we'll go into it a little bit more. Specifically, you want to look at, keep going, go back, Amanda, I'll tell you when to go to next. You want to specifically look at the type of coverages there are, and whether or not there's coverage for business loss, and we'll go into it. Next slide. All risk business income coverage. You know, there are policies, and I'm just going to kind of go through some of the examples that say that we will pay for the actual loss of business income you sustain due to the necessary suspension of your operations during the period of restoration. That provision right there came directly from one of the insurance policies that we are looking at. and that will have coverage. So I'm going to kind of go through some of the things that I've seen just to give you some examples. The suspension must be caused by the direct physical loss of damage to property at the premises which are described in the declarations and for which business income limit of insurance is shown in the declarations. The loss and damages must be caused or result by a covered loss. Next. The big question, can a virus cause property loss or damages? Where there are two triggers, physical loss of property and physical damage to property. Damages require the physical harm generally evidenced by changes in physical characteristics that require repair. Now, the presence of a virus on the surface and in the air does change the physical characteristics such that repairs are required. So it is considered a physical damage. Physical loss to property is different than physical damage to property. Cases have found that coverage for contamination by hazardous substances, odors, ammonia releases, and packages sent to the wrong places are covered. Pandemics and shutdowns causing a clear loss in use are covered as well. Next. Does a policy define what property damage is? Typical definition are loss or damage to the tangible property, including loss of use. Next. Physical property coverage. Again, you want to look at all of these policies. And this today, I just want to give you an overview to understand that there are cases out there. There's an opportunity to help people and an opportunity to make money. And right now I want to give you just kind of a broad scope of what to look for. And I think we're going to do some follow-up where we can really, really get into the weeds. But what you want to do is when you're looking at these policies, you have to look at the exclusions. The exclusions are very important. You want to analyze the exclusions. I've listed a few exclusions that we have seen. The anaconda language, we will not pay for loss or damages caused directly or indirectly by any of the following. Concurrent cause, we will not pay for the physical loss or physical damage caused or resulting from. Ensuing loss, we will not pay for the loss or damage caused or resulting from any of the following. And you can read that yourself, but you want to look at these exclusions. They're in there on some policies, not all, but I want to advise you that there are exclusions. So when you're analyzing these policies, you want to pay close attention to the exclusionary language. Next. Types of exclusions that pertain to viruses. You have the Berkshire Hathaway GARD virus and bacteria exclusion. You have the AIS virus or bacteria exclusion. You have the ISO exclusion of loss due to a virus and the Halford limited fungi. Though those are the exclusions that I've seen thus far. So I just want to bring them to your attention, make you aware that there may be some exclusions in the policy that specifically pertain to viruses. Again, these are not all policies. We have a lot of policies where this language does not exist, but I want to bring to your attention some red flags that you may want to look at if you're analyzing these policies. Next. So, what you want to do in some is never assume that the policy is a standard form. Policies varies from insurer to insurer. Policies have time limitations, which are traps for the unwary. So you need to really scrutinize the policies. Do not self-report unless and until you know your theory of recovery. Do your analysis. They are going to clap back. And when they do it, you already know what your response is going to be. Lack of actual provable loss or damage resulting indirectly from the virus bars, application. So you want to make sure when you're analyzing these policies that there is actual and provable loss, and you need to vet the companies in order to make sure you're not spinning your wheels or wasting your time. So, that's just to give you a little intro and overview about what business interruption insurance is. I'm sure a lot of businesses, whether they are restaurants, beauty salons, barbershops, nail salons, you name it. A lot of companies have been affected. They've had to close their doors and they may never open back up. So there's some opportunities here. And now we're going to kind of continue and go into some other aspects of what you could do to get the cases and how to process the cases, et cetera. So next slide. So now Alfonso McClendon, was he able to get video, Amanda? You may be on mute, Amanda.
Sorry, it was, and it just went out, but it looks like we still have him connected. Alfonso, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so we're at the first slide, how to get cases.
So, and Alfonso, he is my director of business development. Anytime I have a project nationally, I deploy him on it, and he figures out how we could get to the clients through various type of grassroots marketing and advertising. So he's going to talk to you a little bit about that.
Good afternoon. I'm Alfonso McClendon. And basically what we want to talk about today is how you can get these cases out of our communities. Basically, there are a few approaches that we take, such as free public service announcements through the radio stations there in your area. You can come with an announcement saying, hey, it's a 20-second commercial. I just want to inform the community of what we're doing, what we're looking for. So those free ads in our radio stations. Also, the community-based newspapers. You can talk to someone at the community-based level at those newspapers and put out an ad that don't cost you anything. But then again, there are the paid for ads where you can go to the radio station and pay for a commercial. But basically, I wouldn't pay for any commercials for this project because you have the PSAs. But then you can take out television ads on the local stations there in your communities. Going to the TV station, making a video, and with this video, it can serve a duplicity of roles. You can use that same commercial that you shoot for the television station, and then you can start marketing on your social media platforms, such as your Facebook, your IGs, and your Twitters. That's going to be the main market that you want to really attack, because that's what everybody's doing now. Everybody's on Facebook, Instagram, and also each law firm should start a YouTube page. The reason why this is important, because now you can put content out, not only about this, but you can put content out about other things, the areas of practice that you do, the services that you provide. So now people come looking for you just for information. So it's also important to have a YouTube page. Social media is that platform that you can get a message across multiple platforms and multiple cities, states as well. And then you want to talk to your sororities or your fraternities, organizations or groups that you're a part of in your community, your urban league, your Black Business Council in those areas. You definitely want to talk to your Black churches, because your pastors, they are pastoring business owners. They're pastoring employees as well as employers. So when you get the message to the pastor and say, you might want to put an announcement in the church bulletin if you are a business owner. So this is also a way for you to get your presence and your footprint in your community by now you employing the community to get your message out. And as a result of this, these are ways that you can continue to have a message or a platform to reach your community.
And I'm just going to interject, please take notes about what Alfonso McClendon just said. When I was fortunate enough to become the chair of the small firms and solo practitioner division, I told myself that I'm going to share my secrets, that were shared with me, from the Willie Garys and various other mentors that I've had through the National Bar Association. The National Bar Association is a huge part of my DNA. I've been a part of it since I was a child. And, part of the bravado or whatever you want to call it, good, bad, or indifferent, the National Bar Association is at fault. But, I've been able to make millions and millions of dollars, and and you may want to write this down, and the formula, to it is that you have to make your friends before you need them, and you don't give back, you give first. And we have all of the different outreach tools and conduits within our own communities where we have the ability to get to cases before they even look up at a billboard. And that's a little bit about, what Alfonso has just described to you. We have all the power that we need within, our group, the National Bar Association, and our communities. If you are not a part of the small firm division, please join the small firm division. Pat Rozier and Mike Rozier has done a great job in all the past chairs in teeing this up, for me to lead this division. And, it's no longer about CLEs and how I can get some credits. We are utilizing the small firm division to mobilize Black lawyers to collaborate, to work together. We have all the money that we need. We have all the intelligence that we need. We have all the resources that we need. And what we are doing through small firms is to set up infrastructure so we can make some money together. So I'm going to be giving you all a lot of the things that were given to me, by the Willie Garys and the Johnny Cochrans and the Jocks and the John Sweeneys and all the rest of them. I didn't get to where I am by myself. I wish I could say I'm that smart, but I'm not. I've had people who have pulled me through, pushed me through, through this practice of law. And the key to all of this is collaboration. Work together, make money together, help people together, and we have to collaborate. It's just the key. And even at the majority firms, when I'm doing these mass tort seminars in Las Vegas, and I'm looking at all these other white and majority firms, they are all collaborating with one another. They all work together. They all split fees, break bread, and make a lot of money together, and they pool their resources. I could take 10 of you all right now. We all put $10,000 in a bucket, and we could go do our own advertising campaign and take over a city just like that for 10 grand. And it's just the key to collaboration. So, I'm giving you a little bit of what I do, what has made me successful, and what all of you all should do. Please join small firms, get with Amanda, and because there's a lot more where this comes from. There are projects that come up all the time, and anytime a project comes up, we are going to have a seminar. We're going to have a Zoom call. Alfreda, President Robinson, I want to, just, praise her and give her praises again, because she has turned a stumbling block into a stepping stone. And now, us having to use this Zoom platform and do things virtually just allows us to get together, more often and all around the country. So thank you again for that, President Robinson, and go ahead, Amanda. Let's go to specifically, regarding how to process these cases.
And then briefly, we just wanted to show too, just how easy it is nowadays to create social media videos and, quick commercials. We have a little quick snippet. Marwan was in Jacksonville last week, but you can get these type of videos made, PSAs and such made for a couple $100s, and you can use them to promote your firm as well as promote different projects.
Yeah, and we're showing you that, because I think that cost me $200. I put on a little suit, got with my brother in the hood, and had him come out, do some video. Very talented. They do all the editing, and right now content is king. Now I'm gonna show y'all something that I thought was a little funny. I don't know if you can see this, but for one of my shoots, they put me in an ant pile. Let me see if y'all can see this. I thought it was funny. If you've lost a loved one as a result of a senseless killing, anyway, they got a kick out of that. But in any event, I just want to show you gotta market, you gotta create content, and it's so easy to do. A lot of it you can do by yourself on your iPhone, and put it out there on your social media, on your Instagram. I mean, I did one video, I think I did some, got a case, settled the case in 45 days for $5.2 million. Okay. And it was on a shoestring type budget. You get it out there. People saw you. Hey, I have a case. And so you got to use the technology. And I mention all of this because again, people showed me the game. I want to show you the game, and you all could do the same thing. I'm here to help you.
Yeah. So moving next, just how to get the content, how to use technology to get the content. So Camille's going to go into that. Camille, can't hear you. Not sure if you're muted.
Sorry.
There you go. There you go.
Muted. Hi, everybody. I'm Camille Miller with the Cochran firm. Once you all start getting these cases, it's going to be important that you all have a process to streamline them, a process to, once you create the landing page or you create a web page, now that the word is out that you're dealing with these cases. And so you can use something like Wix, you can use MailChimp. There are a bunch of different free and paid platforms for you to be able to actually advertise and take in the information that potential businesses might want to send you. And can you go to the next slide? So what we did was we came up with a checklist in order for you to make sure that you have the pertinent information, because sometimes you can get the calls, you can take the calls, but sometimes it's a lot easier to have the person or to have the company submit the documents via a web page or via a landing page or via an email account. So what you want is some pertinent information, such as, about the person who is submitting the documents. Do they have authority to, act on behalf of the business? Because that's important. You want to find out about the business. You want to find out whether or not, what their relationship is to the business, like I mentioned earlier. Do they rent or own the property where the business is located? Was the business limited in any way or shut down because of COVID? Were you able to receive supplies or not receive supplies or customers or what have you as a result of COVID? And then you can get into the information about the insurance company, what's the name of the insurance company, whether or not they have business interruption insurance, whether or not they've submitted a claim at all about the business interruption service, whether or not they've lost income, how much income they've lost as a result of COVID. And then what's easier is, rather than have them, guess sometimes or to read the document, for them to submit the document themselves. And on the landing page, what you can do is you can have a place where you can submit the, where you can actually submit the paperwork. You need to ask them for the policy so you can see all the terms of the policy. You can ask them for the declaration page. And then you can ask them to submit any correspondence, whether or not they've made an initial submission to the insurance company, whether or not they have received correspondence regarding the particular claim or denial letters. And so that'll be a way for you to, time is money. So if you can have it where they can submit the paperwork via some kind of electronic means, it'll help you vet the cases. And we're also here to assist. We can help you evaluate the claims. If you don't want to do it yourself, we can come in after you've submitted the claim and the claim has been denied, or we can help you set up the process in order for you to vet the cases as they come in and process the cases as they come in. So we also want to make sure that that we are available to assist you, like Marwan said.
Yeah, thank you, Camille. So yeah, we are here, and the main thing about all of this is to get the cases, get the business, and we are here to assist you in getting the business. We are here to assist you in processing the business, and we are here to assist you in litigating if for some reason the claims are denied. Or we could simply just walk you right through everything and help you to do it all yourself if that's what you want to do. We have strategic partnerships that we have set up with firms throughout the country and agencies throughout the country. Sometimes I may use an advertising agency to get business. Sometimes I may use a third party to process the business. So the important thing about that is you do not have to do all of this yourself. There are agencies and entities set up to help you in any way you need help. The main goal and main focus is to go out there into your communities, help your community, and get the business before that business goes out. That's a problem in a lot of our communities, is that business goes out, never goes comes back in. And so we need to be there on the ground and making sure that we are getting the business from our community and that we are feeding, our community. So, Amanda, you may want to have a quick overview. We tried to make this one short and sweet. We know that it's Friday. We don't want to hold everybody up, but we are here to assist you. We are setting up a consulting service through small firms where we will come in to your offices and help you with anything you need. If you want internal or external operations, how we get our business, how we process our business, we are going to be available to come in to your communities with you and help you reach out to all of the different avenues that we access in order to get our business. We understand we can't be everywhere at all the time, so we have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of information through small firms that we want to avail to each and every one of you. So please reach out to myself or Amanda. Amanda is the bomb. Thank you. I never thank Amanda, but she actually makes all the stuff happen. I just show up, when they tell me to show up. But again, it's part of having a good team. You can't do all this by yourself. And another little secret, what I learned is the more people I have working with me, I said the less I have to do and the more I'm able to do. The less I have to do and the more I'm able to do. So, we have, if you are a solo practice or a 2-3 person firm with small firms, you are now a 200 or 300 person firm. We just need to pool our resources together and collaborate with one another and our smarts, and we can move mountains. And when issues arise like George Floyd, they're going to see the other side of our face. But we're going to let President Robinson, she's going to lead that charge. But that's all I have, for now. Thank you.
We do have a question.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Maria John. And her question is, how do you overcome the fact that business interruption coverage is designed to provide coverage for loss of income due to physical damage to property? Example, fire, flood.
Yeah.
And making a BI claim based on the pandemic, particularly when pandemic coverage is usually excluded under most policies.
Yeah, thank you for your question. And the devil's in the details. But there are cases out there right now that has established that viruses and what we are going through right now constitute physical damage. It's not only limited to fires or damage to the brick and mortar. Physical damage also relates to loss of income that your business has experienced as a result of the corona virus. And there are many, and I'm just telling you right now, there are many firms out there doing this, and it's brand new, it's just starting, and these firms are trying to get in on the ground to get these type of cases. So it is a good question. It's one that we litigate. It's in the detail. You got to look at the details of the policy, and we're happy to help you do that.
Great. That was the only question we had. Did you want to go into real quick that almost all of the claims have been denied, and that folks will find that?
Yeah. So and that's a great point. Amanda. There's two ways you can make money. You can make money actually submitting the claim for your client, and you can make more money if they deny the claim. So this is not just a get rich quick schematic. Yes, you have the ability to submit claims and get a percentage of the claim based on your agreement with your client. But the real money is when they deny the claim illegally. So there are claims that are being denied. And if claims are denied, if you choose to do it yourself and they're denied, then get with me afterwards or get with someone else if you don't want to litigate it. you know, or we can help you with, you know, from soup to nuts, from beginning to end.
So also include that in your marketing. You should have 2 phases of marketing. You should have a phase that advertises for, have you submitted a claim? Let's submit a claim, as well as have you been denied? Because of course, like Marwan said, you won't want both.
You know, and just remember
more
that,
questions.
okay.
I'm sorry.
I was saying, just remember, I mean, you know, the insurance companies are in the business of collecting premiums and not paying out, you know, the policy when it's time. So, you know, right now they're getting hit and they got to pay, you know, and there's rulings out there that have stated the same. Go ahead, Amanda. I think there's another question.
All right. You kind of answered this question already, but I just want to address that we received it. How do you get compensated for taking these cases? Flat fee, hourly rate, contingency. Great program. Thank you. That was from an anonymous attendee.
Yeah. So,
go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, you know, we're doing them on a percentage. You know, I negotiated, you know, the same way I negotiate an auto case. You know, that is 33 1/3. You know, if they don't fight me and it goes up to 40%, if I got to file suit, you know, so you know, we're doing them on straight contingency basis.
Next question is the big question, the great question. How can someone get into contact with your firm for a consultation? So I'll take that one. You can email us directly. You can email me directly. My email address is astewart, STEWART, at CochranFirm.com, CochranFirm.com. You can reach us that way. You can reach us by phone. Our direct phone number is, Marwan, off the top of your head?
772-266-4159. And what's the 888 number, Alfonso?
888-258-2448. 888-258-2448.
And thank you for that. Again, you know, my whole objective is to make everybody who's listening to this some money, and for us to make money together. You know, I've seen how my colleagues are making hundreds of millions of dollars together. Thank you again, President Robinson, for this platform. You know, when Marwan does one of these seminars, please attend, please tune in, because it's a money play. You know, this, you know, I'm in economics. It is what it is. And because I think through economics, we have the ability to help a lot of people. You know, I've started a foundation called Live to Give. Okay. And part of the reason why I started that foundation, because I got to figure out how to give away some money, you know, so that's a good problem when you have to give away money. So the government just doesn't take it. So I want to share a lot of what I've learned with all of you. The next seminar I want to do, and hopefully I can do it, you know, within a couple of weeks, is on the Johnson & Johnson baby powder. I think that's a huge money play that's coming pretty soon, and hopefully I'll have the opportunity to talk to you all about that. Hernia mesh is another project that we're working on. If you know anyone who has a mesh product installed in their body, I believe that case is the cases are still out there. They're in our communities. And I think that those cases are going to be settling within probably the next 6 months, and it's going to be a big settlement. So I would like everyone to stay tuned. And, you know, and what I would like to do is, you know, I'm going to have, you know, in the time we spend together on this platform is not going to be long. You know, I'll be able to take 10 or 15 minutes, let you do a quick intro into what the money play is. And then if you want to follow up with me, you could do that.
We have a couple more questions that have come in. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I really want to make sure we get them before we sign off. So our faithful Daryl Robinson has a question. Are there any circumstances where you would take a claim that has a virus exclusion?
You know, that again, we would have to analyze them, you know, very, very much in detail, because, you know, reading these policies, I've become, you know, ingenious at reading these policies. So I've had to read so much, and at first it's such a drag, you know, looking through the policies, but you got to read, you know, what they told us about it, you know what they said about us a long time ago, you know, about hiding things in a book. You got to read. And I've been able to make a lot of money by reading something that someone else didn't read, because not only are there exclusions in these policies, but there are exceptions to the exclusions. So that's a great question. It depends on, so you read the exclusion, then you got to go to the exceptions of the exclusion. And there may be some exclusion to the exceptions, then some exceptions to the exclusion of the exception, and you got to read it, and sometimes what I do is I read it, in phases. I'll read, underline, go do something else, come back, read it, underline, because it takes that much time, and you don't want to become exhausted, like I'm done. No, you don't have to read everything, in one sitting, but you do have to read it in detail.
Oh, great. So Leslie Thomas from New York has a question. Have you encountered the insurance company utilizing force? I don't know this term. Force majeure to escape liability under these business interruption policies? If so, how should you surmount that?
Yeah, I mean, they're coming up with anything that they possibly could in order to prevent from having to pay out on it. But again, we look at it, we analyze it, we already know, we're not willy-nilly filing claims. We're filing claims where we know what our position is going to be, and if they deny it, we're filing suit. So, that's the first buzzword. Oh, act of God, environmental, but we've already done that analysis prior to even filing a claim. And so, and we don't do too much committed, trying to convince them. We'll file a claim, and if they deny it, then we go in, because we already know what our position is.
All right, that's it so far. Any other questions? I just want to add that I added the contact us info at the bottom of the screen, as well as our small firms, MBA small firms website. The website is www.mba-sfspd.com. You guys go on there and check out all the latest information. It has tons of content, as well as we have a directory. I encourage you all members to join our division, as Marwan said, as well as send in your information so we can have you listed on the directory. This is key when we're looking for.
Amanda,
but
yeah, Amanda's right. I can't impress upon you all enough that small firms, this division is our national law firm. Small firms is our national law firm. You may have your firm in New York. I'm here in Florida. Someone else is in California, but small firms is our national entity. And so we are building it. Please go to our website. We have a directory where you can list your areas of practice. We want to know what everyone does, and where we could share information with everyone. I think we've been sending out some announcements on the projects that we're working on, and now with what President Robinson has done in order to give us a platform, we're gonna have some video. You see, I like to talk, cutting Amanda off and everything. So now you put me in front of the camera, it's gonna be hard to get me out the camera. But it's because I want to share information. I want to share information, and I want you all to achieve the things that I'm achieving and more, right? Sometimes I amaze myself because I look at all these people and they're much smarter than I am. But you have to know the play. You got to know the game. If you're not on our listserv, Amanda, what's your email address again?
It's right here, highlighted at the bottom, astewart@cochranefirm.com.
Email Amanda so we can put you on our listserv. When I send out content, is if you don't want to make no money, then don't, you don't need to send me email. But if you are trying to make some money, the information that I'm sending out is to make money, okay? And also to help people. I just firmly believe that the more I make, the more I can help. And so I'm into economics. So I'm not going to be sending you some willy-nilly, type stuff, quotes of the day, which is good as well. But, when I send information, it's going to be a business opportunity, a resource that you could use, experts that we're using, videographers that we're using, focus groups, a different area of law. If you have a small business, I don't care if it's family law, criminal law, corporate law, personal injury, med mal, you should be able to make money in any way you can. You should be able to bring it in. And the reason why is because you don't have to do it. You just have to get with the people who know how to do it.
Yeah, so on that though, so Marwan, so I would suggest that everyone on the call go look at their own policies, right? Like I'm sure some of your firms have shut down or had some type of loss. And look at your own policies to see if you have a claim yourself.
Yeah, again, you have friends, families. I started just with my friends. Who had one had a it was Fonzo, Doctor my Indian brother.
Patel?
It was a day spa. It was a day spa.
a day spa. No, it wasn't the day spa. Not that one. The dentist, the orthodontist. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah. So, and I just started with some of my friends. They started sending me their policies, and I'm looking it through, and they didn't have any exclusions. So, they're just get what your people say. Let me check it out for you.
Nightclubs, yeah.
Yep. So we have one more question, and this may be a question to Kyle for Kyle. It says, sorry if I missed it, but will the slideshow be made available to attendees?
Yes, we can either send it out to the registration and attendees list or post it on the NBA's website or both. And the webinar itself will be available on the NBA's YouTube channel following this video.
Awesome. We have another question from Leslie Thomas. Good suggestion to have us and clients review our business interruption policies. I spent the past 2 months trying to get my clients and business clients COVID CARES Act funding with limited success.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation, because it's that has been tough. It was even tough, for myself, and it took a lot of maneuvering and pressure to get that to go through. But Leslie, if you have any questions on that, just you can hit me up. And all you all too, my cell number is 772-979-0286, 772-979-0286. Feel free, to text me, and anything I could do, to help you, I will as well.
All right.
Great. And in conclusion, we'll have closing remarks from President Robinson of the National Bar Association. President Robinson.
Yes, thank you all so much for this wonderful panel and for the information provided. There have been several webinars on the very issue of being, how to apply, how to have the CARES loans provided to you and your clients. All of those videos are available already through the website. We are going to have another one that comes up, and it's this part 2 of our webinar on COVID and taxes. You don't want to miss that. It's all like this one. It's rich with information, including about actual places and how to apply for this this loan process through federal funding. Let me also indicate that we have as well part 2, based on popular demand. At this evening, we have our 1 hour, well, our half an hour, I'm sorry, our half an hour praying together, the NBA. We had no idea we'd have over 100 people the first time we did it. And then there was much demand for a second one. And that is this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, we thank you for those who are listening. We thank you for your taking time out of your busy schedule. And we look forward to engaging with you again. Thank you.
Have a good weekend, y'all.
Yes,
Every-
enjoy.
All right.